Today we start with the new chapter, chapter number 4, moving charges and magnetism. Okay. Now we are already studied 3 chapters. In the first 2 chapters we have studied charges at rest. Charge is at rest. So therefore it is called as electrostatics. Clear? Now in the third chapter we have studied charge in motion. That we call it as electric current. The first 2 chapters corresponds to electrostatics and the third chapter corresponds to current electricity. Now in this chapter we are going to study what are the effects of moving charge or electric current. Electric current ಇದಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. What are the influences caused by the motion of a charge? That we are going to study in this chapter. Now in the very first chapter we have studied a charge. Because of the charge we are having electric field around it. That electric field, and if you bring another charge in this region, it obviously experiences an electrostatic force. That we have studied. And electric potential, potential energy, dipole, that all the things we have studied in the first 2 chapters. And in the third chapter, the current, electric current, and so many derivations, drift velocity, derivation for conductivity, resistors in series, parallel, cells in series, parallel, and we have studied 2 instruments, meter bridge and the potentiometer. All these things we have studied. Now we are studying here the effect of electric current, that is magnetic effect of electric current. Let me give some introduction to this chapter. For about 2000 years we are familiar with electricity and magnetism. But no one knows, is there any link between the 2 branches, electricity and magnetism? They have thought that those 2 are independent branches. But in 1820, just 200 years ago, a one person named as Christian Ørsted, he was performing one experiment in a classroom. He has so many materials on his table and he is conducting a simple experiment regarding a certain physics concept. Christian Ørsted. He had a wire and he is trying to pass electric current through that wire, and on the table he is having certain magnetic materials like magnetic compass, compass needle, etc. He is doing the experiment and all of a sudden he observed that whenever the current is flowing through that conductor or a wire, the magnetic needle in the compass, which is just beside of it, has shown some deflection. He was doing other experiment, but accidentally he has observed that needle is showing, compass needle is showing deflections. Then he suddenly started to do more and more experiment regarding that concept. And finally he concludes a current carrying conductor or moving charge or electric current, it produces around it something else that influences certain materials, that is magnetic materials. And then he interlinked the two branches, electricity and magnetism. And he has performed so many experiments regarding that one. Now let me explain one simple experiment here. He took a magnetic needle, it is pivoted with a stand. Now this is the north direction and this is the south direction. He took a conductor. He took a conductor which carries a current. He placed that current carrying conductor over the magnetic needle. So ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Now this is the magnetic needle. It is showing north south direction. ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ಹೀಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Now current is flowing in the conductor from south towards the north. South ಇಂದ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಗೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೆಳಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. And he observes that as and when the current starts to flow in the conductor, that needle deflects towards left, that is westwards. That needle deflects towards the left. He observes that one. And he further raises the intensity of the current. He increases the current. Then what he observed? The deflection becomes more and more and more. Clear? And he put the current constant. And he brought this conductor very close to the needle. Now current is constant. Now that conductor is brought very close to the needle, then also the deflection becomes more and more towards the westward direction, towards left. Now here current is constant, but he is placing the conductor very close to the needle. Therefore the deflection becomes more and more. Now he is taking away the conductor from the needle. Then the deflection goes on decreasing. Deflection decrease ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವೇರಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೂ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀಡಲಿಗೆ ಹತ್ರ ತರೋದು ಮತ್ತು ನೀಡಲಿಂದ ದೂರ ಹೋದ್ರು, ದೆನ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Now he tried one more experiment. He changed the direction of the current. Current ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. And performs the same experiment, placing the conductor over the needle. He observes the same result but in the opposite direction. Current ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಗ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಇಂದ ಸೌತ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀಡಲ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ an opposite deflection. That is, it is deflecting towards the east. That is, north pole of the needle is deflecting towards the east ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Clear? He further conducts the same experiment. He took the needle, pivoted it, and now he is placing the conductor beneath the needle. Needle ನ ಕೆಳಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. Then also that needle is showing deflections. Now this simple experiment conducted by Christian Ørsted concludes that, very simple conclusion, a moving charge or an electric current flowing through a conductor produces a magnetic field around it. Produces a magnetic field around it. That was the conclusion. And this concept is linked the two branches of physics, that is electrostatics, electricity and magnetism. So electricity ಮತ್ತು magnetism ಎರಡೂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೊ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ. And he has done so many experiments regarding this one. And finally he got a conclusion in which direction the needle is deflecting. Now, in order to remember this one, whether this north pole is deflecting towards the west or the east, how can you remember it? For that one, Ampere, he has given a simple analogy to remember in which direction the needle is deflecting. Now, he has given simple word called snow. Very interesting to remember. He has given a word snow. From this one, Ampere explains in which direction this needle is going to deflect. That is, north pole of the needle is going to deflect. Snow here. We have a conductor. We have placed the conductor over the needle. Now, in the conductor, current is flowing from south towards the north. Clear? Therefore, Sn, current is flowing in the conductor from south towards the north, and that conductor is over the magnetic needle. If that is the case, then north pole of the needle deflects towards the left. So, simple word alli idee concept anna Ampere explain ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಒಂದು ನೀಡಲ್ ಇದೆ, ನೀಡಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನೀಡಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಸೌತ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂದ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ನೀಡಲ್ ಇದ್ದ, ನೀಡಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ದ, ಸೌತ್ ಇಂದ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಗೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಹಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀಡಲ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ದ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಪೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನೀಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ವೆಸ್ಟ್. ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಳಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದೇ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ಕೆಳಗಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ನೀಡಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಈಸ್ಟ್. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಪೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನೀಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಈಸ್ಟ್. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವನು ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಪಿಯರ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. So 1820 he has conducted this experiment. He got this important result that a moving charge or electric current produces a magnetic field around it. Now, what is the direction or the shape of the magnetic needle? Now that he has given some idea, now if you consider a plane, we have a plane surface, okay, plane surface. Now here we have a conductor carrying a current. Now it is a conductor which is carrying a current. It is a conductor. It is a plane. Now it is conductor is passing through the plane of the paper. If you assume it is a paper in the notebook, it is passing through. That conductor is piercing that paper. If the current is flowing from north to south, current is flowing from south towards the north, then the magnetic field forms concentric circles in it. ಕರೆಂಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಏನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟು ದಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್. ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬಂತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವೈಲ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ they are placing the magnetic needle at different places. Now that magnetic field is oriented in that direction which is tangential to these imaginary circles. Experiment ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತರು. ಹಾಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪಾಸ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ನ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂತೆ that needle comes to rest at a position which is tangential to these imaginary circles. Now these imaginary circles represents the magnetic field. around the current carrying conductor. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. In that case we are going to study the direction, in which direction we are going to get. That is given by right hand rule ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. If you take the right hand case of a right hand, if you hold the current carrying conductor in the right hand, ಹಂಗಂತೇಳಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹರಿತಾ ಇರೋ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಹಿಡಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. It is an imagination. If you hold the current carrying conductor with the remaining 4 fingers with thumb stretched, okay, now thumb is indicating the direction of the electric current, then the encircled fingers, the remaining encircled 4 fingers, they represents the direction of the magnetic field. So with that notation, so we are using the magnetic field here in this case looks to be anti-clockwise direction. So ಕೆಳಗಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. Now here the magnetic field appears to be is in the anti-clockwise direction. ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಕೆಳಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, so if the current is flowing from north to south, then the direction of the magnetic field is in the clockwise direction. ಆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುವ. So in 1820, Oersted has conducted this simple experiment and he got the idea of a moving charge produces magnetic field around it. So then later in 1864, Maxwell he unifies the 2 branches, that is electricity and magnetism. He unifies these 2 branches, electricity and magnetism, with a set of equations. With a set of equations, he unifies these 2 branches and he has given the idea of electromagnetism. Has given the idea of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. Radio waves were discovered by Heinrich Hertz and they are produced by J.C. Bose, an Indian physicist, along with G. Marconi. Now with these concepts, the world of science has developed more and more by knowing more about electromagnetism and also by inventing certain devices which can produce, amplify and detect these electromagnetic waves, and this has made a revolutionary changes in the communication system. All these things are happened in the last 200 years. Okay, now in this chapter we are going to study what are the effects of electric current, especially the magnetic effect of electric current. That one we are going to study. And also one more thing, that is a cyclotron we are going to study. That instrument or the device, the machine used to accelerate the charged particles like protons, electrons, alpha particles, like that. And also we are going to study galvanometer, its theory, and with a small modification in the galvanometer we can measure both current as well as voltage. That means a galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter and voltmeter. Now up to that one we are going to study in this. We use a sign convention for the current or the magnetic field entering the plane of the paper or coming out of the plane of the paper. The sign convention we are using is, if this is the plane, if I consider this is a plane, okay, If the current is entering into the plane, current or the magnetic field, if the current or the magnetic field is entering into the plane, then that magnetic field is indicated by into mark encircled by a circle. An encircled into mark represents the magnetic field or the current entering into the plane of the board or the paper. Plane of the paper ಅಥವಾ board ಅನ್ನು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಂಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ನೋಟೇಶನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Or in the second case, if that current or magnetic field is coming out, if it is coming out of the plane of the paper, magnetic field ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿನೋಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಡಾಟ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಡಾಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಡಿನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್. ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್. Then that magnetic field or the current is represented by this notation. With this nomenclature, so we will study the other concepts regarding this chapter. Next we study magnetic force. Now before going to study that one, we will study what we have studied in the first chapter, that is electric field and electric force. Field and electric force that we have studied. Okay. Now in the first chapter we have studied, consider a charge Q placed at certain point P, at any point, arbitrary point. Now because of this charge, we will observe an electric field at a point P, which is kept at a distance of r from the charge. ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ, ನಾವು ಇ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. ನಾವು ಇ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by R square. That relation we have already obtained that one. Now these are the constant. Epsilon naught, it is permittivity of the medium, Q is the charge and R is the distance between the point from the charge that we have studied. Now in this reason, if I place another test charge, ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್, ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ an electrostatic force. It experiences an electrostatic force with the source charge. Here capital Q is called as the source charge and small q is called as the test charge. Very simple. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ, therefore it is called as the test charge. ಅದು ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ then obviously those two charges will experience an electrostatic force. Now that electrostatic force is simple relation, it is given by the simple relation QE, test charge multiplied by the electric field that at particular point. Therefore we have obtained the expression for the electrostatic force between those two charges as 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q small q divided by r square. Its magnitude. If you write in the vector form, then you will get a unit vector which is along the line joining the two charges. ಇದನ್ನೇ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬರ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ದಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ದ ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಯ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ತಂದಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವೆರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. Now here, who is the source of electric field? Who is the source of electric field? Now charge is the source of electric field. Electric field and force are the vector quantities, but charge is a scalar. Charge is a scalar. A scalar quantity produces the two vector quantities, that is electric field and the electrostatic force. With this analogy, we are going to study the magnetic field and the magnetic force. Now here electric field is also defined in the another way, the field around the charge in which another charge experiences an electrostatic force, a region around a charge in which another charge experiences a force is called as electric field. A region and electric field anta karadvi. Adhe concept mele we are going to study the magnetic field and the magnetic force. For the case of a magnetic field or force, who is the source? In the case of electric field, a scalar quantity charge is the source. So in the case of a magnetic field and the magnetic forces, current element is the source of magnetic field. Then what is a current element? A small portion of a conductor carrying current. ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ then that small piece is called as current element. Now we have a conductor. Now current is flowing here. Now if I take a small portion of this conductor, now this small portion of the conductor is called as the current element. A current carrying a piece of conductor is called as the current element. Now it is the source of magnetic field. But current element is a vector quantity that we will study later onwards. Now study ಮಾಡುವ ಹೇಳಿ. Now let me study the magnetic force. If a charge is moving in the presence of a magnetic field, assume that we have, in this region we have a magnetic field. That magnetic field is denoted by the letter B. In the vector notation it is vector B. In that region we are having a magnetic field. Now a charge is allowed to move in the magnetic field region. Now that moving charge obviously experiences a force, and that force is called magnetic force, Fm. A moving charge in the presence of a magnetic field, it experiences a magnetic force, and that is given by, its magnitude is given by a simple relation. So Q V B. A moving charge in the presence of a magnetic field experiences a force. The magnitude of the force is given by Fm. M stands for magnetic force. Okay, that is given by the quantity. It is given by the equation Q, that is the charge which is moving, and V, the velocity with which the charge is moving, and B, the presence of the magnetic field. This is the magnitude. If I write it in the vector form, therefore Fm is equal to Q into, it becomes the cross product of two vectors, that is velocity vector and the field vector. Now this concept was given by Lorentz. That concept was given by Lorentz, and hence that force is called as Lorentz force. Now Lorentz is conducting a simple experiment by applying both electric field and the magnetic field to a moving charge. Lorentz ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಂದು ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ he allowed a charge to move in that particular region. Now in that case, that charge experiences both the forces. Electric force ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Then what is the total force experienced by that charge ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is sum of both electrostatic force Fe and the magnetic force Fm ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Now this total force experienced by a moving charge in the presence of both electric field and the magnetic field is called Lorentz force. Lorentz force ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Lorentz force. Now here Fe already familiar with this electric field, electric force, electrostatic force, and Fm that just we have explained, it is the magnetic force. Therefore magnetic force is given by a moving charge experiences a magnetic force and is given by this equation vector Fm is equal to q into vector v cross product of vector b. Now here q the charge of the particle, v the velocity, and b the magnetic field. Now since we have a cross product here, what is the direction of that force? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದೆ? ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಅನಾಲಜಿ ಕೊಡುವ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ದ ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಯಿನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಟೂ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್. ಆ ಟೂ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲೈನ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಾಗದೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಾಗದೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? This direction of the magnetic force, since it involves a cross product of two vectors, therefore this direction is always perpendicular to a plane containing the two vectors. ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಒಂದ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪ್ಲೇನಿಗೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ನಾವು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ದ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್? ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಫೋರ್ಸು ಈ ಪ್ಲೇನಿಗೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೋ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೋ ಹೇಳಿ. ವೆದರ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ರೂಲ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್. ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು? ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ತಿರುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಟೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಆ ತಿರುಗಿಸೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಿ. ವಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ತಿರುಗಿಸೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈಗ ನಾವು ದಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ perpendicular to the plane containing the velocity vector and the field vector, magnetic field vector. Now from this equation we will work out some important observations. Now what is the magnitude? Therefore magnitude of the force is q v b. Since we are having v cross b, it is vb sin theta. Magnitude becomes vb sin theta. Now what is theta here? Theta is the angle between the velocity vector and the field vector. Now this is the angle theta. So therefore magnetic force, it depends on the charge, depends on the velocity, depends on the magnetic field, and also depends on the angle between the velocity vector and the field vector. Now we'll study some points here. Now magnetic force is 0. ಯಾವಾಗ magnetic force 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ. First case velocity 0 ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. If velocity is 0, that means the charge at rest. ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಎಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇಫ್ ಎ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್, ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ accelerated. That is the difference between the electric field and the magnetic field. Electric field case ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮೂವೇ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, if both the velocity vector and the field vector are parallel, ಎರಡು ಯಾಕಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಂಗಂದ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ, ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಿರೋ ಅದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್. ಅಥವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಇಫ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್, ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಥೀಟಾ? For the parallel case, angle theta is 0. For the anti-parallel case, angle theta is equal to 180 degree. In both the cases, what is sin value? What is the sin value? Sin theta value? It is 0. Sin theta 0 ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. Since sin theta becomes 0, what is the force? Obviously, the magnetic force 0 ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ರು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ 0 ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಈವನ್ ದೋ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್, ದೆನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ 0. ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲೂ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ 0 ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. Now third case, when will you get a maximum force? ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೋ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. ದ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ velocity vector and magnetic field vector both are perpendicular to each other. That means a particle or a charge is moving perpendicular to the field direction. In that case only, that the charge experiences a maximum magnetic force. The magnitude of the maximum force, F max, maximum is equal to, it is Q V B. This is the maximum force experienced by a charge moving in the presence of a magnetic field. Okay. Now let me study what is the SI unit of this magnetic field that we will work out. Okay. Now from this expression, simple expression, we have Fm is equal to QVB, or B is equal to Fm divided by Q into V. Okay. So unit of force is Newton. Now charge is Coulomb, velocity meter per second. Therefore Newton second per Coulomb meter. Newton second per Coulomb meter, it is the unit of the magnetic field. It is given by the another name, that is Tesla. And it is denoted by the letter capital T in the name of the physicist Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, for his contribution, they have given the SI unit of magnetic field as Tesla. But this Tesla is a larger unit. We are using still smaller units, is called Gauss. Gauss is another unit of magnetic field, which is a smaller unit. So 1 Gauss is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. 1 Gauss is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. Now Earth's surface, we are having a magnetic field due to the Earth. Now the magnitude of the magnetic field is 3.6 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. Earth magnetic field idda avana strength estiruttade magnetic field endu anta helidre 3.6 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla irtane. Idannu ನಾವು Gauss ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ therefore magnetic field becomes 0.36 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla ಬರ್ತದೆ. 10 to minus 4 Tesla is nothing but 1 Gauss. 0.36 Gauss. Like this we have an SI unit for the magnetic field, that is Tesla. Now important thing here we should remember in the case of electric field as well as magnetic field, the source of electric field is a scalar quantity, that is a charge. The source of magnetic field is a vector quantity, that is called current element, that we will study in detail in the later classes. Clear? Now up to this what we have studied is with respect to a positive charge. We have assuming a particle with a positive charge. Now what happens if the charge is negative? If the charge is negative, then obviously the magnitude of the force remains the same. Force the same irtane, but what about the direction? The direction becomes opposite. Now look here in the diagram. Now this is, we have written with respect to a positive charge, the force is in the upward direction. If the charge is negative, obviously what will happen? The force becomes in the downward direction for a negative charge. That should we should remember. Now the direction of magnetic force experienced by a charge is given by right hand class rule, or it is also called as right hand screw rule. Now let me explain that one. Now we have the velocity vector along this direction, then we have a magnetic field along this direction. This is the velocity vector and this is the field vector. Now it is making a certain angle theta. Now these two vectors are in a plane. They are in a common plane. Now according to the right hand clasp rule, if the 4 fingers 1 2 3 4, if these 4 fingers, if you curl them, the direction of the curl indicates the cross product of V to B, that is V cross B. If the 4 fingers which are curled represents V cross B, then obviously the extended thumb represents direction of the magnetic force. That is right hand clasp rule. So therefore here in this diagram we are getting a magnetic force along this direction, vector F along this direction. Now this is perpendicular to the plane containing these two vectors, velocity vector and the field vector. Now if the charge is positive, this force is upward direction like this. If the charge is negative, the magnitude of the cross product remains the same, but the direction is in the opposite direction. Opposite direction ige bartade. Now that is as shown in the figure. Now this is the magnetic force for negative charge. If the charge is negative, force downward bartane. If the charge is positive, force upward bartane. So ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು direction of magnetic force experienced by a charge ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಹೇಳಿ. And it can be also explained by using left hand rule. Sometimes it is also called as Fleming's left hand rule. Now if we stretch the first three fingers of the left hand, those are thumb, forefinger and the middle finger, which are held mutually perpendicular to each other. Now the forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Middle finger indicates the motion of the charge. Sometimes current, maybe the current. If they are mutually perpendicular to each other, then the extended thumb obviously represents the direction of the magnetic force experienced by a charge. ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ಕೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಫೋರ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಮಿಡ್ಲ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಗೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ದೆನ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಥಂಬ್ ಇದಾನಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದರ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫ್ಲೆಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್, ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಎ ಫೋರ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್. Once again, stretching the first three fingers of the left hand mutually perpendicular to each other. The forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. The middle finger indicates the direction of flow of current in the conductor. If they are held mutually perpendicular to each other, then obviously the stretched thumb represents the direction of the magnetic force experienced by that conductor in the presence of external field. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಈ ನೋಟೇಶನ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಪ್ ರೂಲ್ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ರೂಲ್. ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ತಿರುಗಿಸಿದಾಗ ಹೇಗೆ ಅದು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೂ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೊಟೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೊಟೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಇಟ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಿ. ವಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ನಾವು ರೊಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. The screw which is advancing inside the wall ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದೇನು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, now that indicates the direction of the force. It is moving inside, that represents the direction of the force. If the screw is rotated in the anti-clockwise direction with a screwdriver, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ರೊಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಹೇಳಾಯ್ತು. ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೇಕು, ವಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೆ ಬಂತು ಹೇಳಿ ಆದ್ರೆ, ದೆನ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಥಂಬ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟು ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ವಿ ರೈಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ವಿ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಡಾಟ್. Here it is cross, here it is dot. Now these notations we are going to make use here. Clear? Let me define Tesla, which is the SI unit of magnetic field. Now we are familiar with the magnetic force. F is equal to QVB sin theta. It is the magnitude of the magnetic force experienced by a charge. If velocity vector is perpendicular to the field vector, then what is the angle? Angle is theta is equal to 90 degree ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. Therefore, that charge experiences a maximum force, that is QVB. Now, from this simple expression, we have B is equal to F divided by Q into V. Now, assign the units and assign ಮಾಡುವ. Force, it is Newton. Charge, it is Coulomb. Charge is coulomb, and velocity it is meter per second. So therefore ಇವನಿಗೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ is Newton second coulomb per coulomb meter. Newton second per coulomb meter ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Let me write the dimension of the magnetic field. If you write the dimensions of the magnetic field, what we are going to get? Force. The dimensional formula of force is M L T raised to minus 2 divided by charge that we are having A T and velocity that is L T to the power of minus 1. Now here L cancels, T and T to the power of minus 1 get cancels. Therefore the dimensional formula for magnetic field B is equal to M A to the power of minus 1 and T to the power of minus 2. It is the dimensional formula for magnetic field. Okay. And unit of magnetic field is Tesla. Magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla. Magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla. So by this formula we can find if F is equal to 1 in it, that is 1 Newton, charge Q is equal to 1 coulomb, and velocity V is equal to 1 meter per second. Then we can define Tesla. So magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla. If a unit charge is moving with a unit velocity, that is 1 unit meter per second, in the presence of a magnetic field, if it experiences a force of 1 Newton, then that magnetic field is called as 1 Tesla. Like that we can define Tesla.